We Are Brave Together was created for you, with you in mind and heart. Just because I'm a special needs mom, as you know, if you've read, even if you're new to We Are Brave, and now Ryan's almost 17 in June, which is crazy. I know what the journey is like, and I know how isolating and stressful and altered it is, especially when if you have neurotypical kids, you really know the difference, or obviously you have friends or family with neurotypical kids, and you just know that your life is altered and you had to adjust to a diagnosis and just being an amazing, treatment team manager for your child, and all the therapists, doctors, and specialists, and teachers and aides that are a part of your life. So We Are Brave is a place that you can come to say anything, and you will not be judged for your tears or your anger or your resentment or your story. And I always say that every single story counts. So wherever you are on the spectrum of your caregiving, whether it feels light when you hear other people's stories, or it's very intense, you've got a child that's medically fragile, you don't sleep at all, and it's just you're in and out of the hospital or in and out of surgeries, wherever you are, wherever you fall on that spectrum of caregiving for your child, every single story matters. So at any We Are Brave event, I don't want you to ever feel like, my story's too intense, I'm just going to sit in my little chair and not say anything, because we are here to support you. We are here to remind you that you're strong, amazing, and look how far you've come, and yes, you can keep going. And if you're sitting in your chair going, my kid's not that bad, I don't want to say anything, I feel really, really bad, these moms and what they're encountering, it matters. It matters. It matters to me, it matters to everybody in here. So we say, let us share and not compare, and we mean it. We mean it. It is just part of our heart and our mission. So today we have our second Preventing Compassion Fatigue workshop. We did one a year ago, literally on the same date.
Oh my gosh.
And we kind of like doing it in the month of February because of Valentine's Day and all of that, but just as a reminder that you need to take care of yourself and love yourself, or you're going to burn out. We've got three great speakers today who are new to We Are Brave events and workshops, so I'm excited to have them, and I'll let each one of them just give a quick introduction.
My name is Rebecca Stewart, and I come to you guys as a psychotherapist in training, meaning that's what I do, right? That's my job, that's what I do. But I'm coming to you guys today as a mom of 3 kiddos, one in high school, one in middle school, and one in elementary school. I'm in the thick of it. So I told Jessica, I need this just as much as you guys do.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Cole, and I'm very happy to be here as well and meeting all of you. And I am a psychotherapist as well. I practice actually in the same office as Rebecca in Hermosa Beach. And I do a specialized kind of work called somatic experiencing. And most people probably don't know what that means, and that's totally okay. So I'll talk more about it in my portion, but it's basically, in a nutshell, a mind-body way of healing trauma and helping us reconnect to the stuck places in our body and help that stuckness to move. So I do that, and then I also do this other kind of work called Mercier therapy, which is a visceral manipulation of the pelvic organs, and it's for women either to assist with fertility or postpartum to help everything kind of get back into place. It stimulates blood flow and mobility into the area, so it's very helpful for any condition of the pelvis. So I do talk and hands-on work both. And yeah, today we're going to be covering some fun things that I hope will be helpful for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Rush, and I'm an elementary school teacher and a mindfulness educator, and recently became a yoga instructor. And I'm really honored and excited to be here, so thank you so much for having me. I've worked with many students over the last 8 years and families, and mindfulness has been a really big and useful tool for myself personally professionally with my students and families that I work with. So I'm really excited to bring it to you, and we'll be learning about it, and hopefully you can take away some tools, some mindful meditations you can do on your own at home to become more mindful and present. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So when I say compassion fatigue, what do you immediately think of? Let's just shout it out, or I'm going to start calling on people. What does that mean to you? What does that phrase mean to you, compassion fatigue?
Burnout.
What else?
You no longer have anything to give, no love, you're tired.
Mm-hmm. What else?
For me, it means I start to see in my son the disease or his syndrome and not the person.
Yes.
That so much of my time and energy is spent like living in other people's upset that everything is out of balance.
That's a great way of putting that. Anybody else? All right, so we got the idea. It is an actual term, compassion fatigue syndrome. It was coined by Dr. Charles Figley out of Tulane University, and it's defined as it's a state experienced by those helping people or animals in distress. It is an extreme state of tension and preoccupation with the suffering of those being helped to the degree that it can create a secondary traumatic stress for the helper, who identifies with that, right? To some degree. Right? He goes on to say that caring too much can hurt. And when caregivers focus on others without practicing self-care, it can lead to a whole host of issues. Not just exhaustion or mental exhaustion, but it can really lead to spiraling into depression, anxiety, addiction, and the list goes on if we don't pause and stop and take care of ourselves. Dr. Bonnie Goldstein also calls what we live with ongoing traumatic stress disorder. You guys have probably heard that term. So I said this maybe in some of the advertising for this workshop, but we're not here to guilt you into an exercise plan or a special diet, and it's so much more than exercise and eating kale. Yes, those are great things. I hope you're incorporating some of that into your life, but self-care really involves so many things, and there are so many things that we can do in bite-sized chunks just to help our daily stressful lives. So we're not going to say go join a yoga studio and spend hundreds of dollars. We're not going to go say buy this, whatever. But you're going to hear different tools. There's some handouts there that give you lots of ideas. And we can say everything that we want to say to encourage you to engage in self-care. But if you don't realize that you matter more than anybody in your family, what we say is just going to sort of fall to the ground. And it's a radical statement, right? To say that, or to think that, oh, I matter more than anybody else in my family, because others' needs are so apparent or so demanding. And of course, as mothers, we love to give. We love to help. We love to caregive. We love to nurture. We love to do these things for our families. But if we burn out, we are no good for anybody at all. And so if we tank, who then picks up what we do? We do 1,000 things every single day for our families, right? So I just hope that you'll let that sink in. I hope that you'll take that in. It's really important that you recognize, I really matter the most. My mental health, my emotional health, my physical health, my spiritual health really, really matters. And I do not need to feel guilty to take 5 minutes today for myself, or 10 minutes, or 60 minutes, or whatever that may be, or whatever you can fit into your life. So I'm just going to say this. This is a quote from John Maxwell, who's written 50 books on leadership. But I love this quote. He says, "You must realize that you matter, and that your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health matters. If you don't realize that you have genuine value and that you are worth investing in, then you'll never put in the time and effort needed to grow to your potential." I'm going to share one more quote from this book. It's on our list of books that's recommended called The Self-Care Solution, but I like how she says this. I must realize that taking care of myself also includes how I act, think, make decisions, treat others, feel about the world, and perhaps most important, feel about myself. That's not something I really thought about, and maybe the girls will be diving into some things today too, but how you feel about yourself also plays into your ability to be the best and strongest caregiver. Self-care now means deliberately taking the time to take care of my inner self as much as I do my outer self, giving my behaviors and emotions the same, if not more, attention than I do my hair, face, and skin. As I've learned, spending just a few minutes every day to take care of yourself actually creates more time. That's kind of cool. Because you're less stressed, more focused, energetic, and self-confident as a result. So I will stop and I'm going to let Rebecca take over.
Just to start off with, the differences between self-care and self-comfort,
Okay.
right? So, but before you answer that, do all of you think that those are the same thing, or do you think that those are two different things? Self-care and self-comfort. Do they sound like the same? They're different? Okay. Go for it.
This is not my own revelation. I wish I could take credit for it, but I read it somewhere and I just think it's amazing. But self-care is engaging in activities that sustain you. So things that produce a sense of peace, a sense of calm, but it's lasting. Self-comfort are those things like pampering yourself, a massage, although a massage I think regularly might be self-care. Getting your nails done, watching Netflix or Hulu, drinking, eating, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with those things, but they only last for the moment that you're in it. So it might provide relief that, hour you're in the salon, but once you leave, it doesn't sustain you.